Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. Happy 2024.
What's up, y'all?
Guess who's back? Back again.
Nice. They don't want to hear me sing.
Mataruda's back.
That's right.
Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Okay, we get the point.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, welcome. This is our first podcast date together of the new year.
2024. That's right.
And she's a good topic today.
I think it's something that everybody here, if they're not already conscientious about it, is something that they can probably stand to work on, especially so early on in the year.
Absolutely. And I think what's very cool, hang on, I just found a random cord. I'm like, do I need to have that plugged in? Squirrel brain. I think this is a topic that I don't think it is a topic that kind of came up naturally for us coming off of just how we were feeling last week, which is funky because it was the first week of the new year, which we actually really look forward to. We have our, ceremonies and settings in place of how we like to start the year with the exercises that we do to lay out our year, plan out our year, how we want it to look, how we want to feel. But yet we had kind of some funky vibes going, and we looked at each other yesterday morning when we were having our coffee and said, we got to turn this around. Tomorrow's Monday, and it's a new week, and we are in the driver's seat of how we want the week to feel, how we want to feel. So this is what generated this topic.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that we're in the driver's seat. I mean, ultimately, nobody's responsible for you more so than you, no matter what that means, what you eat, who you talk to, how you can try to generate moving in the right direction. And that I understand is sometimes easier said than done, especially when, we get to maybe this time of year. Things are dark early. Things get dark or stay dark later. I don't know about where people might be hearing this podcast, but for everybody pretty much exclusively in this part of our world, I think we have, without exaggeration, I think we've seen the sunshine one day over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Longer.
4 weeks. Like, there is a legitimate discussion to be had about how friggin' real seasonal depression is, man, because this stuff there's only so many days in a row where you can just go on literally in the grayness and the doldrums and not feel the heat, let alone see the sunshine, and operate on a high vibe frequency consistently because you're not getting it from anywhere else. And
we literally have to be the saying of like, bring the sunshine because there's none outside. So whether it's wearing bright yellow, bright orange, bright colors, and hey, that's not something that we have written down on our little notes here, but maybe it is coming back to like, what are you wearing? What are you putting on in the morning? Are you, if you're going for a workout every day, are you constantly wearing black? Maybe add in some color because maybe, just maybe, that will add 5 to 10% of good energy into your day, into your workouts, and how you're going to feel.
Look good, feel good.
That's right.
Right?
Okay. So this whole topic today, today's episode is very much about seeking more positivity. That's how we wanted to design our week. Is like we need to just add in more positivity to how we're feeling. And you had a really great line that you got this from the book Mind Shift.
Mind Shift. Who?
Erwin McManus.
That's right.
We'll link it in the show notes. It's such a great book.
Mosaic.
Yes.
Yeah. Essentially, he talks about energy, and it talks about a lot of things, quite frankly. But the one part that obviously makes all the sense in the world. I'm going to say this, and everyone's going to be like, "Well, yeah, obviously, dummy." But at the same time, when you say it out loud and you subscribe to it, it makes the difference. Something shifts literally in your mind to be like, well, yeah, damn right. That's exactly how it should go. So why am I not doing it? It's so simple. Why am I not doing it? The bottom line is that you have to put out into the world what it is that you are looking to get out of the world first. So knowing that everything we put out there is an energy, that it is literally taken on by other people around you, or maybe not even around you. I mean, how many times do you get people reaching out to you on your Instagram who don't know you at all, but they are attracted to your energy, to literally how you come across, and they send you a really nice message, a really nice note. And my point with all of that is what you're putting out there, good, bad, indifferent, all of it, more often than not, as humans, most of us just reflect that same energy back. If you're in a room full of really high vibe, energetic people, you can't help but just be taken along for that ride. That's how it
Mm-hmm.
goes. You're going to also partake in that. The exact opposite is true. You walk into a room, and even if you were feeling good walking into that room, and you have half a dozen people in there who are all talking about the crappy weather and how their sports teams lost again and they haven't gotten sleep last night because of the kids or whatever the story might be, there can only be so long that you hear this over and over the course of that day, let alone days or months or even friggin' years, God forbid, where you don't subscribe to that exact same way of living life and looking at life the same way. So I'd say the first part of this is recognizing your environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of things that you can do for your overall experience to be affected positively. But maybe the first part, kind of what you touched on, is your physical environment.
And you can break that down too. Like, if there's a lot of you listening that are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and maybe you work from home, and maybe your office, is cluttered. So maybe it is just taking like 30 minutes to maybe it's 2 hours, depending how much stuff you have in there. And you just need to kind of cleanse your space. You need to clean it up. You need to have it feel a bit more vibrant. Maybe you need to open a window to get some fresh air. Maybe you need a new candle.
Bring in a plant.
Yeah, something to set your environment to make it more positive and happy, and sprinkle more joy in it.
Yeah.
But if you also are in an office environment where you're surrounded by people, maybe you also need to be conscientious of who are the people that you are interacting with. And I feel like this is kind of flows into our second point about the people. But just to kind of tie a bow on the environment, I think that can be no matter what. If it is work, if it's your own office, if it is a corporate big office where you're just being mindful of how your desk appears, if your desk is cluttered, or if your desk is tidy, or if it's the people that are cluttering your mind or
You
your
know what I
energy.
find's a real game changer?
Hmm.
Go wash your car.
Oh.
Yeah. I find that my dad's always said a car drives better when it's clean. And to another extent, I think one feels better when they're also, well, clean, yes, but also just kind of looking their best, right? Because they're feeling their best. I think people wash their cars mostly because they want to reset that, right? Otherwise, what's the point? It's probably just going to get dirty again in the next couple of days or a week anyway. So really, it's just kind of this cycle of just having to knowing after doing it again and again and again. But you do it because I think there's this almost this mental resetting of sorts that in that moment, as soon as it's completed, at least, you feel better about what it is that you are literally stepping into.
You can say that about a lot of things. I think that's even like making your bed in the morning.
Absolutely.
That's setting the tone for your day.
Yeah.
Your bed is made. You're ready to start your morning. Carry on with your day.
What else can we do?
I think, again, kind of flowing into the people. Actually, I wanted to go back to environment because this comes up a lot for us. And I know we come at this with a slightly biased opinion because we are the owners of this gym. But your environment when it comes to moving your body. And we'll chat a little bit more about generating energy from movement. That is a big priority for both of us. But we are really proud of the space that we've created at Benchmark Fitness because it is positive, it is happy, it is full of good energy and joy. Now, I know not every one of you listening can come to Benchmark, but if you can find a place, maybe you already have a place, that's even better. But where are you moving your body? Is that a positive environment? Or do you maybe need to do a little refresh for where you're moving a little up level? It's the start of a new year. I know that a lot of people like to set out new goals and intentions for how they want to look and feel and perform from a, activity level. Or maybe you need to try something different. Maybe you were really into gymnastics, but now you want to try CrossFit. Something like that, and having that fresh start. But I think also being mindful of your environment when it comes to your workout routine, because if you are anything like the two of us, that's really important for us, and that is a priority 6 out of the 7 days a week. So you are spending a lot of time there in that space around those people. So being selective and choosing a place that complements how you want to feel energetically, which then let's kind of flow into people. This is a topic that we love in our house content we even love on the podcast, but who are you spending your time with? Who are you spending your time around? What are the conversations that you're having with those people?
Are they engaging you? Are they asking you questions? Are they making you feeling uplifted? Are they giving you the encouragement that you need to go and have your best day? Albeit, it's still up to you first and foremost. But nobody does anything on their own. No one achieves anything on their own. So you're going to need more than one time, more than many times, you're going to need people that help you along the way, kick you back into the game, make sure that you're feeling at your best when you're not at your best. And so if you don't have those people consistently, and I mean that, not once in a while, like consistently, if you don't have those people around you that you know have your back, then before you even left the house, you're literally walking into trap after trap after trap that you've set up yourself.
Totally. And I mean, yes, guys, we're all entitled to having those days where you don't feel great.
Of course.
You know, and maybe even having those people that recognize that and be like, okay, yeah, you know what?
We're gonna let you breathe for today.
You have a mood today. We're just gonna acknowledge it, but maybe we're gonna park it tomorrow, or we're gonna park it next week.
We're gonna let you pipe down.
Pipe down. We're all entitled to that, and that's sort of our vibe last week. But we recognize that this is not who we are. We're not gremlin. We're not feeling like gremlins all the time. So we have this whole mantra this week of having new positivity in our life and our energy and how we're feeling. But having those people, and this is something that's really come up a lot, and this is not a new age discovery, but just some of the books that I've been reading and listening to, or for both of us for this sake, it comes up a lot of being an interested person. You know, we don't all need to be the most interesting, just be interested. Ask good questions. This is, I think, one of the best things that we as humans can do, especially when being around other people. Show that you're interested. And this could be someone that you just met at a networking event or a networking dinner that you don't know. So then, like, you have all this capability of asking questions because you don't know this person. But if you do know this person, this is someone close to you, ask them questions. And we kind of say this all the time, how you have this like amazing cheat tool at your disposal with Instagram. If you're active on Instagram, you're probably sharing your life, which makes it a very easy tool to use as reference with people in your life, people in your circle, people in your network. Going on and referencing, like you could probably even just do a quick check what their child's name is or their dog's name or what projects they've been working on. Maybe they had a really big achievement. Maybe they're just open to business. You could go on and on. But asking good questions about people that you don't know, but also about people that you care about. So that kind of goes back to the conversations that you're having with the people in your circle.
Yeah, I think the more you engage yourself, the more you almost naturally pull yourself out of that gray zone. You know, propaganda, media. I think that's a monster part of how we can make ourselves feel better, or ultimately just exacerbate feeling worse if you're in the wrong types of that propaganda, right?
Yeah, we've seen that a lot actually with our parents' demographics. Yeah. And that's not the topic for today, but we've certainly
and they're not going to like to hear that. Yeah. But I mean, there's only so many times we could see it and not connect those dots, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But on the positive angle of this, of consuming positive propaganda, we are students of this. We are kind of obsessed with great podcasts. And we very much kind of gear towards the entrepreneurship, personal development, self-development shows and hosts. And then we'll consume the hosts of those shows content. And, you know, we're really both actually now into audiobooks as well as your traditional paper books. I think there's like great joy in enjoying both. But what are the subjects? What's the subject matter of what you're consuming?
Yeah. And even, you know, when it comes down to things that you are consuming, things that you are doing from a media propaganda standpoint, what's almost just as important is what you're not doing too, what you're choosing not to do, i.e. turn the damn news off.
I don't know if we've talked about this before on episode, how at our gym, we actually stopped playing traditional television.
Yeah, we've got 5 televisions in the gym, and they used to play a different channel across the board, and some had sports, which would then ultimately lend itself to different kinds of commercials that might be pushing certain agendas. And then there'd be a couple of news channels. I mean, there was something that was as boring as a weather network channel that came up. But invariably, over the course of the years that we had these televisions up and running, Certainly within the last few years, let's say,
There was
uh,
no positive
not
propaganda
much
on the TV.
positivity coming through there. And, obviously, if you're coming to a gym space, it's such a, there's a physical component to that that's important. But I would say very confidently, the reason why most people are there, reason why most of our members are there, is because how important it is and how it stands to be part of their day from a mental standpoint, what it means to
Mm-hmm.
them in that end more than anything else at all. So you can imagine if that's the place that you've decided you're going to choose to be your breakaway from whatever other doldrums might be happening, and you walk into a place where you've got 5 different televisions in every corner of this space that are spewing something that
Not
isn't
joyful.
positive. Exactly. It's just it's another slap when you weren't anticipating or looking for it. So that's what we've done is we've changed all the televisions. Essentially, we've got a new service provider where they just play upbeat, positive things, whether it be just straight sports highlights, no commercials at
Landscape,
all.
like mountains and oceans.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We have a superhuman channel, which is by
Crazy
far the
feats.
most fascinating,
Yeah.
showing this crazy level of athleticism.
Yeah.
We have a health and wellness channel, and then a personal fave, the animal channel. Just puppies, baby cows, things that are happy to look at.
But how many times do you catch people just looking up, staring like idiots in the
And
corner
smiling.
Exactly.
It worked.
Exactly.
So that's
works.
That's been a very positive change from 2023 into 2024.
That's right. Look, the news is always going to work in a way where it's meant to shock you. So it doesn't shock you by telling you that, I don't know, a 8-year-old boy gave a 90-year-old woman a dozen roses this morning. That's not getting any likes. That's not getting any promotional ads paid for them. They're going to tell you about all the ugliness that happened the night before. And it's funny because I remember reading something a couple of years ago where, let's say you go to a party and you meet somebody who acts the way the news acts, where literally every 10 seconds they're telling you about something negative that just happened.
Where did you
I don't know, but it really made an impact. Like, could you imagine you go to a party, you don't really know many people, whatever, you're hanging around having a drink, and some dude, some chick walks up to you and was like, "Hey, did you hear what happened last night in the Middle East?" And then you say no, and then they go on and tell you that 57,000 people have died or been, displaced from their homes, and you think, "Oh my God, that's absolutely horrible," because it is. And
I think I'd push them into the ice bucket.
But then they finish up that and they say, "Oh, also, have you heard about the 25 cars that were stolen this month and being shipped over across the ocean?" And so all that's to say that, how and why would you put yourself in position to intentionally listen to this negativity over, and you'd walk away, you'd find a reason to get the hell out of that room, if not that entire party. Same holds true with what you're watching. If you can control that, you should.
Excellent. Okay, let's go back to generating good energy, because I feel like we were kind of getting there when we were talking about the gym and the environment. But this is something, as I said, that's huge for both of us, is starting our day. We have a nice little morning routine that we like to do at home, but then starting our day with our workouts. And that's a variety that's unique to you. We have our routine. You guys probably have your routine, but generating good energy. And I'm sure I have said this before on the show, how I am almost 99% positive that I could guarantee if you're not feeling great when you walk into your gym or wherever you work out, you are probably going to feel at least just 5% better, maybe 2%, but maybe 85% better than how you first walked in there.
Yeah.
And we've both had days like that we can relate to as well. But it is amazing what energy you can generate, what good positive energy you can generate from lifting heavy weights, from maybe running on a treadmill, running outside, just moving your body, feeling stronger, breaking a little sweat. You're just generating these great endorphins that is going to carry throughout your day. And that is going to be this wonderful dose of positivity. You sprinkle on a positive environment that you're doing that in, boom, you're going to 2 times that feeling. But that is really, really important. And again, we're at the start of a new year. Maybe this is something that you want to pay more attention to in your routine. And guys, congratulations. If that's the way, like, this is great. And you're going to have excellent feelings that come as a result of that. And that's something that's huge for both of us.
Yeah. And I don't think you necessarily have to set personal bests going into the gym space, and that's how you generate the positivity. I mean, the ability of movement in and of itself is how you move the needle as well, right? So, I mean, we're talking about going to the gym and having, more often than not, relatively intense workouts, whether it be high intensity workouts or just straight weightlifting. We're going to run, whatever. that's one way to do it. But I also recognize it's probably not the majority of the world that kind of starts their days as often as we do in that respect. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other things available to reset one's mindset and helping you to move your body at the same time. Take your dog for a walk.
Totally. Right? Or like habit stack.
Grab a coffee and go find a nice part of the neighborhood that you want to walk through. Or if you're close to water, most cities with water will have something in the way of a waterfront trail. Places in the mountains will likely have trails there too. So, I mean, not likely, they do. So there really isn't an excuse, short of it being a blizzard or torrential downpour out there, where you can't move your body, and that one's free.
But you could totally habit stack and, go to the treadmill, put something positive in your ears, or if it's, watching and listening to it, how you feel, maybe you're wearing that bright workout outfit and you're kind of coming at it from 3 different angles. Or to Matt's point about going for a walk outside with your dog or no dog and a coffee. Maybe you go to an area that you would love to live in and you like dream about these homes that are in this area, or it's by the water, and you're just kind of creating, again, these like feel good emotions that are generating positivity.
Yeah, and I think you made reference to a cheat sheet earlier
with Instagram?
In this podcast with Instagram, and that's a hack in and of itself, right? I mean, we talk about creating these things or taking these inventory of things that you are grateful for that makes you feel happy for what you have and where you are and all the rest. But there's also something to be said about literally writing a list, and you call them a joy list.
A joy list.
Yes. So, joy lists are something that allows you to quickly look at what you can get or what you can pull to get yourself in a better space, to physically find yourself in a more positive space. And you don't have to think about it. You just literally open it up, whether it be on the notes on your phone or in a notebook at home, whatever it is, and pick 1 through 12 things that you've written down that is easily accessible to you in that moment. That would change the narrative of how you feel instantly.
100%. And I was saying this to Matt yesterday, how we made our joy list. And I actually think you can take it one step further by sharing it with your partner, or maybe it's even with your best friend, but so that like for us as husband and wife, we now have each other's joy list. So if I'm having a lousy day, Matt can do a quick check-in on my joy list to see, like, you know what, I'm going to pop by the store and I'm going to bring Allie home a new candle because that brings her joy. Or maybe it's just a coffee or a tea. There can be things where they're expensive, like vacations, and you might not be able to take a vacation every month. But maybe there are smaller things that are, $5 to $10, or maybe maybe it's a bubble bath that is the cost of water and Epsom salts. Things that are easily attainable, but that are things that you really have that feel good emotion of like looking forward to, the anticipation of that thing that's on your joy list. So that could be your homework. That could be your nugget to take away from today's episode is, if you need to add more positivity into your day, into your week, into your life, save this episode, maybe share it with a friend and come back to it if this has been helpful. But as a little takeaway homework project, why don't you try writing down your joy list? And if you have somebody special in your life that you want to do this together with, maybe go on a coffee date and create this together, share it with one another, and then enjoy it.
That's the plan. So we did for us, and it's now we have it. Now it's there.
Right? Yeah, and we're gonna go through this week with such a massive amount of joy and gratitude and good energy and positivity.
You put out what you need to take out.
You get what you give. I love that.
That's right. Make the deposit before you ask for the withdrawal.
Woo! Love that. Thanks for being here, babe.
Thanks for being here, babe.
Love and appreciate you.
Love you back.
I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.